Hi guys, let's talk COVID vaccines and vaccine development. So, I have gotten a lot of questions and messages lately regarding my opinions about the recent vaccines that have been discovered with Pfizer and Moderna. And I thought I would just take some time to kind of discuss that with you and maybe help alleviate some concerns and answer some questions. So, the number one question I get is there a reason to worry? Like, should I be worried about how fast this vaccine has been made? And I think that there's a lot of information that goes into answering this question. And for myself, I am only on the research side of developing the vaccines. I'm not in regulation or in one of the many moving parts that goes into creating a treatment or drug. So, just from my point of view, I think that there are just so many people in this race to come up with a solution to this problem that means that we can get to solutions a lot faster. I think that it's really great that basically the whole world is in on this to try and come up with a solution for this as soon as possible. And for me personally, for my job, I have networked with people in all parts of the world, in Europe, in Mexico, in Canada, in Singapore, in Korea. I've dealt with many clients in those parts of the world. And so just knowing that there's a lot of hands on deck to solve this problem. We're in a really unique situation with this pandemic because the whole world is in on it, and every government is in on it, and every business, large and small, who can contribute to the solution has offered up their services, their help. And I feel like even though it could take 10-15 years to approve a vaccine, when you have more people in the fight, it can make all the difference. Another concern you can have is this safe? Do I think this is safe? Well, I think that safety is definitely a concern, and concerning mRNA vaccines specifically, which there is no mRNA vaccine out there, this will be the first one, which is very exciting. There's been a lot of development behind the scenes for a long time now, for years. And for Moderna, this is not their first human phase trial. They're actually in phase trials for a few of their mRNA based treatments, in mostly in cancer that I have seen. So there's been a lot of legwork already done that is headed in this direction for mRNA. And when I got my job that I currently have now, I already saw the potential that mRNA has for vaccines and for other therapeutics in the future. So this is a very exciting time for us, because not only are we responding to this pandemic, but we are responding quickly and, most importantly, effectively. So human phase trials are extremely important when it comes to drug development, and I personally do not think that we have moved too fast. I think that it's just because we have so many people working on it that we are able to come to solutions so much faster. And I wish that it was like this for a lot of other treatments and for a lot of other illnesses that do not have this much attention. Could you imagine how fast we could come to solutions for other illnesses that still have no cure? I also think it's worth mentioning that it's okay to criticize the science. I encourage it. I think that in all of this craziness that's been surrounding us in the news, that the experts and the regulators and the scientists have been the ones that have remained steadfast in this entire mess. I think that it's okay to criticize the science, but there has been immense pressure that we have all been under this entire time to hurry up and come up with a solution, to hurry up and manufacture a vaccine, to hurry up and make our country look amazing in a year that we are having an election. It has just been overwhelming, the amount of attention that the science world has been given these past few months. And Given the criticism that we have received, I think that we have done a really good job, and especially FDA regulators have done a really good job in maintaining their integrity. And it's so important in our community to maintain the integrity of science so that we can keep the trust of the people. With trying to solve this problem with this novel virus, there are also other things that we have come across that have been really great for treatments and for medications and drug development in general. And that is just the number of people that are coming together and networking and doing experiments and coming up with ideas to solve the problem. And in doing that and having a lot of people taking charge, there's been a lot of reporting on these projects, and some of them have been viable and some of them have looked really well or really good, and some of them didn't look great. And it put a lot of distrust in the public when the media pushes or publishes this information on the news for a news story. And it's not damaging for scientists because we realize that this is useful information, but it can discourage people in the public who are not in the fight, and they just see that we're in a lockdown and now they're seeing that these studies are inconclusive. And so I understand that, and I think that it's important to maintain the trust of the public as a scientist myself. And so again, I think that criticizing the science is welcome. At the same time, also understanding the experts know what they're doing. Also, at the same time, trusting that the experts have experience in the knowledge and that they know what is best in the situation. And I think that we are just trying to come up with something that is more effective and safe than anything. We are still not able to say that we have a vaccine yet, because today, as I am making this, there is no vaccine. So when there is one, then we can start discussing like a timeline on when we think we can get a vaccine, because right now it's still looking like summer, which is really soon. In vaccine development, that's soon. To make billions of doses of a medication, it takes effort from all types of businesses, and I'm really happy to see that many businesses have come together to help with the solving of this issue. So I just kind of wanted to sum up this video by talking about the representation that I have seen as a woman of color in the scientific research side. And it's just very encouraging to see the amount of diversity in phase trials, in the research and development side, in manufacturing, in business, in politics. It makes me so happy to know that we are gaining trust of the public. And I think that when other people see that they're being represented in these areas, especially in science and medicine, that it encourages them to trust as well. And I always encourage anybody to fight the good fight. If you want to go to school and you someday want to save the world, I encourage you to get that degree and to join the fight. I think it's the most noble thing that you could do, because if not you, then who? So I'm looking online and trying to come up with some numbers for you guys about these vaccine trials. I was coming up empty-handed, and it turns out that Pfizer nor Moderna have published yet, which makes total sense. So their technology for what their actual vaccine is going to potentially do is kind of a secret right now. Just for competition purposes, this is typical. They just haven't published yet, so it'll be coming out very soon. But I did get a chance to read their preliminary results, and they look fantastic. 90 to 95% efficacy. I mean, if you could find a flu vaccine that had that efficacy, we wouldn't have a flu season. And so it's just remarkable. The solutions that these two companies have been able to come up with. Also, University of Oxford has also come up with a vaccine in Europe. So reading these preliminary results, I was seeing the amount of volunteers that are in these phase trials. So for Moderna, they have over 30,000 people that have participated in their trials all around the world. And I looked at clinics in Brazil. I was looking at clinics here in San Diego at UCSD. These volunteer positions were taken like that. And that's another reason why these phase trials were able to move so quickly, was because these spots were filled with people who were willing to kind of sacrifice themselves in a safe way to give us data to prove to the people that this is a safe and effective vaccine. And the representation in these phase trials for people of color were upwards in the 30% range for Moderna. And for Pfizer, their phase trials, they had even more people. They had 40,000 people in their phase trials. And I think it's somewhere in the 40% range for diversity in their phase trial as well. And I cannot explain to you the value of this data. It creates a wider net for all of us in the industry to kind of determine a cure for everybody. And so it's just been such a wild ride in the mRNA world that I am in, and I am so excited for us, for this path that I am helping pave. And I know that mRNA is the future, and I see the potential, and I saw the potential when I was in class, and I knew the potential when I got this job. And so in no way am I trying to sway you in one way or another on what the decision for you should be on whether or not you should take the vaccine. I think that that is a decision that belongs to you. I can only encourage you to trust the experts and to ask questions. And like I said, criticizing the science is fine. I criticize the science sometimes, and that's what we do in the field. We are constantly criticizing each other, and I am constantly criticizing my own work as well. And when we're wrong, we change it. And I think that every one of us is okay with changing it if it's wrong. And so I hope that very soon we will get approved for a vaccine, and that I will start manufacturing it, and that we'll start getting back to normal here, hopefully within the next 6 months or so. And I'm so excited for that too. And I hope that we all stay safe out there and wear our masks, and I hope that we have a Merry Christmas. So thanks for watching this whole thing, and don't hesitate to ask questions. Okay.